Good evening. Well, it's evening when I'm recording this, or good afternoon, good morning, whenever you are listening. Thank you so much for coming back, for joining me. This episode I'm really excited to share with you. And I'm actually going on holiday in the morning, and I've left it quite late because I've been waiting for some inspiration to drop in over what to talk about today. And I've been reflecting actually because quite a lot of the conversations with my clients have recently been around how to get this balance right between being able to really put yourselves first and also create the success in your business that you desire, and how to go from not overthinking things and doubting things to be able to do your work and also have a life at the same time, not succumbing to hustle and push energy. And I was reflecting on these conversations I've been having with the clients, and it's exactly what we use inside the Powerhouse Portal to help my clients go from feeling stuck in the hustle and all the overthinking, to feeling calm, centered, and grounded so that they can get on with their lives and be successful and take time off and not overwork and, be able to stick to their boundaries with themselves and with their clients. And it always comes back to the framework that I share inside Powerhouse Portal that helps them to be able to manage their workload and make time for themselves properly. And I'd love to share this with you today. This is called the higher self system. And I wanted to share the exact steps with you today on this podcast so that it can help you if you find yourself stuck in overwhelm and scarcity, because it's really important to know that from an energetic standpoint, when you're stuck in overwhelm and scarcity and push energy, that's contraction, and that actually slows down the results in your business. If we're in contraction, we're going to get more lack and scarcity, and we're going to push our results away. Basically, we don't want to be in that place. We want to be in a place of abundance. We want to be feeling good. We want to be creating results. We want to be creating what we're creating in our business from a feel good place. And so everything that my clients do to get to that, and what I do to feel that, comes down to this framework called the higher self system. Now, I have simplified things for the benefit of this episode, because it's not just this framework inside Powerhouse Portal. There's other frameworks too, such as the triangle of resistance and the total freedom framework. Those are really important too. But in this episode, I just want to give you the biggest bang for your buck and share like the specific steps of the higher self system. So before I actually go into those 5 steps, there are a few key things that I want you to understand about the brain and about how we create our own reality. And I want to actually clear up this manifestation. There's a lot of talk on manifestation basically, and a lot of manifestation and law of attraction is misunderstood. People talk about manifesting your dream business or manifesting your goals and manifesting certain things, and these things are on your vision board, and all of that is great, but we need to understand that actually everything in our life right now is a manifestation. We are always manifesting because we're always attracting things based on our own vibration, good and bad. And so we're constantly manifesting. It's not just a case of if you get something that you've consciously desired and wanted to bring about, you've manifested that. No, you manifest everything. Your life challenges, your hard situations in your business, you manifest it all based on your own energy. And so all of this is so, so important, because your subconscious mind plays a huge part in that. And I'll explain all that I need to in order to make this fully make sense before I dive into the framework, because I don't want you to have a surface level understanding, because it won't help. I need you to understand some really, really key things about the brain and about how we manifest and the subconscious mind. So what I'd also love for you to know as well is that every version of you exists right now. Every single dream that you have and everything that you desire, you can have. It already exists in the quantum field. Okay, we have our experience in the 3D, but everything out there exists. If you can imagine it, you can create it. And you create it using your mind and your belief system. I'll talk about it a little bit more in a minute, but it is essentially about training your mind, your energy, and your body to be at the frequency that matches the things that you desire, and to be at that frequency consistently. Okay, not just dipping in for a quick visualization and then spending the rest of your time in scarcity. No, it's about being an energetic match for the things that you desire so that you manifest them in. And the fastest way to do that is through your subconscious programming, because 95% of what we're doing is done subconsciously. So when our subconscious is programmed to believe that we're worthy and to believe that the things that we desire are possible and achievable in the near future, then that's how we create our reality, because it's our subconscious that drives our behaviors and our thoughts and our feelings. Okay, it's down to our inner belief system that dictates what we manifest. Okay, and what's on our inner belief system is down to the experiences stored in the subconscious mind and the emotions stored with the memories that are in there. Okay, so just want to explain. If you've listened to my podcast before, you may have heard this, but if not, I want to share this with everybody again, because it makes makes sense when you understand how your brain is working on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so your subconscious is the part of your brain that's experiencing everything, and it is scanning your surroundings at all times. And your subconscious is doing what it's doing to keep you safe and alive. Okay, so your subconscious is responsible for healing, healing cuts and wounds and injuries. Your subconscious is responsible for keeping your heart beating, your digestion system running. Your subconscious is responsible for everything, including your experience of life right now. So what it does in order to keep you safe is it scans all of your surroundings all of the time, and it compares what you're experiencing now through a filter. It puts it through a filter to make sure that there's no danger. And so it runs it through this filter, this internal belief system, which is made up of all of the things that we've ever experienced before and the meaning of those experiences. I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. But it basically compares your current reality to what you've experienced in the past. And it will therefore show you what you believe to be true. Okay, so if you believe that you are not worthy of attracting a client that is excited to pay you, that massively respects your work, that will fully commit to everything that you are teaching them, not question you, not mess you around, and basically, if you don't believe that you're worthy of having the best clients and you're not being that yourself, then you will manifest something less than that. Okay, for example, clients who push your boundaries. And there's a whole other episode on boundaries. I'm not going to go into it today. If you want to hear about boundaries in particular, go and listen to the episode I did recently on boundaries. But we get our boundaries pushed if subconsciously we aren't sure of the behavior that we deserve. Okay, we get what we're available for, basically, and that isn't conscious, it's all subconscious on this inner belief system. Okay, so we have subconscious beliefs that basically make up how we experience the world, because the subconscious is filtering everything you're currently experiencing and deciding what to show you consciously based on those beliefs. It's looking for evidence of those beliefs. So if those beliefs aren't serving you, in the sense that if those beliefs aren't supporting where you want to go and how you want to feel in your business, then chances are you will feel like success is really hard to come by, or we can't trust when things go well because it's not supposed to be that way, and actually difficulties around the corner, or feeling like you're never on top of things and that you're always in a rush and pulled in too many directions. Literally, the experience that you are having in your business and the experiences that you've had in your business over the last 3 months, you look for the patterns there, they are the clues as to what's going on subconsciously for you. Because how you experience your reality is a reflection of your inner belief system. Because your subconscious isn't interested in being proven wrong, it's only going to look for the evidence of what it believes to be true. Okay? So we live our lives on autopilot and we carry on experiencing the same things unless we change our subconscious identity and our programming. Okay, changing your subconscious programming will literally change your reality, because when you change the programming, your subconscious starts to look for evidence of the new programming. Like, for example, going from success has to be really, really hard work to success gets to be simple, and not easy, but easeful and full of flow and fun. That gets to be your reality if that's what your subconscious believes is the case. And the thing is, the inner belief system, this internal belief system that you have right now, is what it is because of the experiences that you've had growing up and what you've made those experiences mean about you. Now, the unfortunate thing about this is we grow up and our brain isn't fully matured until early adulthood. So we have all of these experiences, and throughout childhood, we have so many experiences. Literally everything you've ever experienced is stored in your subconscious mind. And what we've made those experiences mean about us and our place in the world are stored subconsciously forever, unless that programming changes. And so it can be down to the smallest of things that can affect you in your business, the smallest of memories, that can affect you in your business and can affect how you're feeling. For example, if you feel like you're not listened to, then it could well be down to an experience that you had where your opinion wasn't valued in over time or in a specific memory. And chances are a lot of those memories you've completely forgotten about. But it's down to those memories that are causing you to feel the way you're feeling in your business as an adult. Those times when you're running your business and it feels hard and it doesn't feel joyful and it feels heavy, or you feel triggered, all of that is a sign of some healing that needs doing, because literally nothing in life or in your business is positive or negative. Everything just is. Everything is neutral. And it's the subconscious that experiences that, compares it to previous experiences and the stored emotions that those experiences have with them. And it's those experiences that cause you to feel how you're feeling now. All right. So any situation is neutral. This is what I coach on all the time, because you can logically see that a situation is neutral, but you can't help how you feel. Okay. And it's 9 times out of 10 a result of something that's happened in the past where you've assigned a meaning to that that's unhelpful. And we can go back and we can clear that. And that neutralizes how you're feeling in the current moment as a business owner. This is inner work. This is deep inner work, and it's healing. And all healing is removing layers of your subconscious identity that doesn't serve you, layers that have been put on you in the past, either by other people or by situations that you have made mean something about yourself that is just unhelpful. It's basically chipped away at you and your true power, and basically makes it hard. And when you do this healing work, you're able to come at life, not just your business, but come at life feeling far less triggerable. And it makes it so much more enjoyable to live your life and run your business. So much more enjoyable to run your business because you get to do it your way, in a way that feels good. And you get to lead yourself powerfully, and you get to up level so much quicker. So I just want to talk very, very briefly, because I realize a lot of that is quite hard to grasp unless there's a specific example. So I've chosen an example to talk to talk through now, to share what I mean by what we're experiencing now as an adult is in relation to something that happened way in the past. So recently in my group program, Powerhouse Portal, we did a deep healing session, and we do these quite regularly. And my clients bring something to the call that they want to heal. And there's training on how to decide what to bring, but essentially it's anything that you recognize needs healing will be affecting you subconsciously in your business. So I'm going to share with you an example that happened very recently. My client had a feeling that she was holding herself back from saying things that she wanted to say. She was overthinking things and basically ending up people pleasing because she didn't feel confident enough to speak her truth. And that was seeping into every area in her business. That was affecting her pricing. She wanted to charge more, but she felt massive resistance around it. It affected her confidence and her energy when talking about her services. On a discovery call, for example, when it got to the end and talking about the investment, her energy dipped. It affected her when she was creating content. She wasn't able to speak her truth. She knew that she was self-censoring and not speaking as boldly as she wanted to, overthinking what people might think of her, worried about backlashes if she was the leader that she wanted to be, even with her boundaries with clients, everything. There was just this undertone throughout her whole business of a fear of making a mistake. And so in the healing session, we found the root cause of that. And your conscious memory doesn't need to remember this. I know that there can be this worry about healing where you're like, oh, I can't, I've got a rubbish memory. I don't think I'll be any good at this. You don't have to. Or like, I support you the whole way through it anyways. But as long as you can feel the emotion that's affecting you, your subconscious will find the right memory to work on, because every single memory that we have is stored subconsciously and is encoded with an emotion. And when we feel an emotion now as an adult, our subconscious connects that right back to the first time when we felt that, because it has to keep us safe. We feel a threat, we feel that way, and our subconscious gets us to act in a different way than we want to, than we consciously want to. This is why we feel resistance, and we, for example, say yes when we really want to say no. We end up doing things that aren't aligned, because it's our subconscious that's in control. And when we do the healing, that we free all of that. Anyways, let's talk about this original memory. Her subconscious brought up the original memory that we could work through. And it was very, very young. She was primary school age, and she stood up for a friend. And in that moment, she was really proud of herself for standing up for her friend. We're talking, she's less than 10 years old here, so she thought she was doing the right thing, standing up for her friend. And then when she got home, her mum basically had a go at her and told her off for doing what she did. She thought she did the right thing. She thought she was going to be praised for standing up for her friend. And her mum, we didn't dive into all the details and everything. We don't need to. We do the healing in a solution-focused way. But it could be, for example, that her mum didn't have, had too much on her plate in that time. Her stress bucket was full. She just lashed out, whatever, or she jumped to conclusions, or whatever it was. But essentially, all that matters is that my client at this very young age was had a go at after doing something that she thought was right. And so in that moment, that was traumatic for her. That was above and beyond what her nervous system could cope with in the moment, and she formed a limiting belief in that moment, which would then keep her safe for the rest of her life. And that limiting belief was, you can't trust your instinct. Okay, you can't trust yourself to do what you think is right, because something bad might happen. Okay, so best to not trust yourself, and to overthink, and to question yourself, and do what other people want you to do rather than what you believe is right. So that first experience caused a whole pattern of not being able to trust herself throughout her entire life. And this was showing up particularly now in her business in all areas and causing herself to hold her back massively. So that's an example. Then I hope that makes sense as to how our actions as an adult in our business can feel so hard when our subconscious and our conscious are not on the same team. Basically, when we want to achieve something in our business, but we have subconscious limiting beliefs and things to work through in order to allow your subconscious to feel safe to achieve what you want to achieve, then we basically block ourselves and we end up self-sabotaging in multiple different ways. Okay, so I want to share with you now the 5-step framework that I share with my clients inside Powerhouse Portal. It's called the Higher Self System, and it will help you to shift. Okay, it will help you to shift out of overwhelm, out of feeling like you are overthinking yourself, self-doubting, doing things that you don't want to be doing, working in hustle, all of those things. And it will help you to get to a place where you are calm and confident and trusting and just going for it, not holding yourself back. So step 1 then is to be able to put yourself before your business. Okay, and the reason for this is because your energy matters massively. All right, when you are in a good place, i.e. your energy is not depleted because you are able to put you and your needs first at all times, your energy is so different. And we're always reading each other's nonverbal cues. So when it comes to marketing your business and showing up for yourself, whether that is on Instagram Lives or discovery calls, whatever it is, your energy is being read all of the time, non-verbally, by people who are watching you. And it's not what you say, it's how you say it. We are always subconsciously reading each other's energy. And the same goes for when you are working with clients inside your business. If you do not put yourself before your business and you are led to work in hustle, and you are not honoring yourself, number one, your energy is going to be depleted and you're not going to be able to give your best as well as you would be able to if you were putting yourself first. So if you are putting yourself last all the time because you are driven to just work, you feel like you've got this obsessive desire to work, and you find that you're always putting your self-care at the bottom of the list, how can you expect to manifest things that are going to be for your higher self if you are not embodying what it means to be your higher self now? Okay, we have to move first. The universe only gives us more of what we're already being. Okay, so for example, being grateful for everything you have now, having a positive mindset and not focusing on lack, not focusing on what you've not got yet. Okay, you cannot be the best version of yourself if you're not putting yourself before your business. And so I just want to speak, actually, one of my clients this week asked, how do I manage procrastination? And what I said to her is that, and this matters, and this, I want to say that this is important because as long as you're in alignment and doing what you love, procrastination is down to either a limiting belief or an unmet need. So when you're doing the work on your limiting beliefs, it then just is an unmet need. Okay, and that's like me in my business now. I do not ever put my business first. I always show up for myself first, and I always listen to my needs and honor them. Okay, and sometimes that means recording a podcast really last minute, but it's unedited, so I can do that. But everything flows according to my energy. The only hard and regular deadline I have each week is a podcast episode. The rest flows with what I feel called to do. Okay, and obviously, outside of showing up for my clients, I have very few things that have to be done. But downtime is so needed, and I teach my clients to honor their needs. It's a huge part. Well, it's number one. It is step one, the first part of the higher self system. Okay, and yeah, it is hard. Like if you spent years and years hustling and putting yourself last, like if you're a people pleaser, then you will be putting yourself last. And it would take a lot to undo that, but that's where the subconscious reprogramming comes in, so that we shift your identity away from being a people pleaser, and we shift your identity on a subconscious level to one that is worthy of putting herself first and worthy of taking the time to care for herself before others, and feeling worthy simply because you're alive, not because you've achieved X, Y, and Z that day. So yeah. So step one, then, put yourself before your business. Step two of the higher self system is to create space for your intuitive nudges to drop in. And you can talk, if intuitive nudges or gut instinct or creative inspiration, whatever that is, your higher self knows the fastest way for you to get to your dreams. Okay, because you wouldn't have those dreams if they weren't possible for you. And your higher self knows all of the answers, and it gives them to you one at a time via intuition. And so we do not hear our intuition if we're not creating the space for it to drop in. Life is so busy, right? And if we are listening to music or a podcast or always having sound on, we're not allowing space for that intuition to drop in. And intuition is super important. I teach about it inside Powerhouse Portal, because it's literally how you get to your highest timeline, to manifest your dreams, by following your intuition one piece at a time. And you do need a lot of trust to be able to get there. You need to get out of the way of your limiting beliefs, but of course all of that comes in. But yeah, that trust is super important. So yeah, following your intuition, but actually creating space for those intuitive nudges to drop in the first place is the second step. Because without the intuition, it can take so much longer to create what we wanted to create, because it's guesswork, basically. We get the ideas, but we doubt them, or we don't follow them, or limiting beliefs get in the way, or we see stuff online and we think, oh, that would be a good idea. But actually, the key is to be able to connect with your higher self and allow for that intuition to drop in and to guide you. Okay, it's really exciting when that starts to show up for my clients. But also know that your intuition can get blocked massively, in the sense that you can hear the intuition, it can drop in, but actually following that can sometimes be a completely different matter, because your intuition is never logical. Sometimes it's an idea will drop in and it's way left field, but your intuition is never wrong. And so this is where the mindset support comes in, to be able to help you identify whether it's intuition or something else. Or if it is intuition, then let's identify the limiting beliefs that are causing the resistance to try and stop you from following that, because the resistance will show up if the subconscious doesn't feel safe. All right, and the subconscious won't feel safe if there's a limiting belief in the way. So that's why we get rid of the limiting beliefs, and then the subconscious feels safe to help you manifest that. It all comes together so beautifully, and I'm really, really happy to be sharing this with you. So step number 3, I've just touched on it a little bit there, but step number 3 is to be able to notice the resistance, because the resistance helps you to identify patterns. Okay, and that might seem really hard to grasp if you're hearing that for the first time. But basically, when you start to work on yourself and you start to do this inner work, a mindset work, it raises your self-awareness. And I teach my clients how to get super sensitive and super observant, so that they notice that resistance straight away or very soon, because we never ever ignore that resistance. And actually, I help them reframe resistance, because actually resistance is a gift and a guide. Because when we feel resistance, it's an opportunity to either adjust our mindset or our actions to get back into alignment. Okay, the resistance is there for a reason. It's showing you. So we don't want to have a victim mindset about it and feel disempowered because you're procrastinating and there's resistance and everything. You celebrate that, because you're like, right, okay, what does this mean? Why is this showing up? And when we notice it and identify the patterns, that's when we create the opportunity for a breakthrough. Okay, I never ever share I'm never ever of the belief that you push through resistance. You know, I'm not telling my clients that they shouldn't work hard or whatever. They don't want to not work hard. Like the same as me. I attract people who are like me, right? I'm really hardworking, but I don't do resistance because there's always a reason for it. We move through it. We not move through it, but we deal with it. I don't ignore resistance. I do not push through. Okay. I'll say it again because it's such a key thing to say in this podcast. When we feel resistance, it's an opportunity to either adjust our mindset or our actions to get back into alignment. Okay. Next step, and this makes massive sense. Like the step 3 won't work without the step 4. Step 4 is to get support to remove the limiting beliefs as they crop up. The most incredible thing about having mindset support is it cuts out all of the wasted energy in the going round in circles. For example, I had another conversation this week with a new client, and she came to me on Voxer, and she had just taken on a new client, but she changed her package to suit that new client. And she asked me if she did the right thing. We talked it through. I listened to what she'd done. And as she was speaking, she kind of knew that she'd done the right thing, but obviously valued my input to give my advice and what I thought. So yeah, I listened to her talk it through. I listened to the reasons why she made the decision that she did, and I assured her that yes, it was a decision made from her higher self and not from a place of scarcity. Okay, it was an action taken with the energy of expansion. It was a strategic one, and not from the energy of contraction. It wasn't a people-pleasing decision. Okay. And from this conversation, my client felt more confident in her decision making. And without that 2-minute conversation that we had, if I wasn't her mindset coach and she didn't have mindset support, that could have led to a whole bunch of overthinking and more self-doubt and going round in circles, creating more and more resistance, questioning, second guessing herself, and therefore losing trust in herself. This is the power of mindset support to help you to continuously, confidently move forwards. And I really support my clients to learn how to support themselves really, really well. Okay. There is never, ever any codependency happening in my client spaces. I am the end product of where I get my clients to. And I invest from a place of desire, not from a place of need. So Powerhouse Portal is a game-changing program, and working with me is absolutely game-changing. And after those 6 months of working with me, you don't need to carry on with working with me at all. You have all of the mindset support and the shifts needed to be consistently at your next level and go off and enjoy that and create that success with ease, fun, and flow. For good, because you've done it, you've done the work. But the majority of my clients re-sign with me and continue the journey together because they value the rate of progress that they're making when they're supported by me. And they value the transformation that they get to have because they've got that mindset support, just like I do and the way I invest in myself. Okay, so I just wanted to stress then that yeah, you get to be so self-led and so confident in yourself and how you make decisions and how you move in your business through learning and embodying the higher self system and the subconscious reprogramming that goes with it, of course. Okay, how are we getting on? So we've done step 4, getting support to remove the limiting beliefs, and final step, and I think the most exciting one as a mindset coach, because I obviously get to watch my clients up level as they embody this more and more consistently and grow in confidence with that embodiment and that new version of themselves, their like CEO mindset stepping in. And oh, it's just so fulfilling to watch. And yeah, I just feel like I've got the best job in the world. But let me share. Step 5 is to observe yourself and make choices from your higher self, right? That's the point of the higher self system. Okay, step 5 is to be able to consistently make choices from your higher self, but you can't do that unless we've done all of the steps 1 to 4 before that. Now, why does this matter? This matters because your brain is watching you do the things that you're doing. Your brain is watching you think the way you're thinking, okay? It's listening to all of your thoughts and how you let those thoughts run away with you, or how you reframe them to be higher self thoughts. Your brain is listening to everything you say, okay? And it's realigning your identity along with the consistency of the things that you're thinking, saying, and doing. So observing yourself with that new heightened level of self-awareness, observing yourself and watching yourself make choices from your higher self is the way that you get that fully empowered, embodied higher self business owner, CEO mindset. It gets you to make the progress that you want to make, and the subconscious reprogramming that helps you get that subconscious on board to help you manifest what you want to manifest. So I want to actually give another example this week of how I've supported a client. And this client just started working with me, and I'm really happy, and yeah, really, really happy that I'm supporting her, because she's at a crucial time in her business. Now, she's achieved amazing things because she's only had her business a year, and she's just gone full-time in her business, i.e. she's left her full-time job. She's been working extremely long hours, holding down a full-time job and building up her business to the point where she's now able to do it full-time. And yeah, she's just started working with me. We've just finished our first week together, and in Voxer this week, we've been talking through different things, and she has come to realize that this transition, going from working full-time and running her own business around that, going through this transition of leaving that and now just running her business full-time, is actually a much bigger transition than she thought it was, in the sense that she has to be really mindful to be intentionally placing freedom at the heart of running her business full-time. Now, if you think of where she is at now, it's like a blank canvas, and her brain is watching all of her decision making. So if you imagine yourself as this client right now, all of the higher self system comes into place, because with step 5, she's watching herself making all the decisions, and she wants to be making those decisions really mindfully, because her brain's watching, and she's basically starting a new way of life here with so much freedom. But without the higher self system and without the mindset support, she could unintentionally go into working just as hard when she didn't need to be, because that's what she's been doing for the past 3 months. That's what her subconscious is aligned to and feels safe with at the moment. And that's what will continue if we don't mindfully do the work to make those shifts, those subconscious and also mindset and conscious shifts, i.e. putting into place all of the higher self system, so that she does those upgrades and up levels subconsciously and with the higher self system, so she can embody creating that success now with ease, flow, and fun. So I've said a lot, but I just want to recap those 5 steps then, so that you can start to implement them from now on in your business. Especially, like, I'm really happy with the timing of this podcast episode 2, because it's September, and if you've got kids and those kids are back at school, it feels like a fresh chapter, doesn't it? And so this is the perfect time for you to know about the higher self system, so that you can start to implement these steps and make your decisions more mindfully, so that you can get to where you want to be. So recapping those 5 steps, they are: number 1, putting yourself before your business. Number 2, also, if you want some more support with that, listen to all the episodes that I've been doing, lots of the unedited ones. You see me embodying fully what it means to put myself before my business. So yeah, number 1, put yourself before your business, like, massively important. You will not get anywhere with the rest of the higher self system unless you implement step 1. Step 2, create space for those intuitive nudges to drop in. Number 3, notice resistance to following those intuitive nudges, so that you can identify patterns, and so that you can identify if there are any limiting beliefs. You can't change what you don't know about. So you have to notice the resistance in order to do something about it. Step 4, get support to remove those limiting beliefs so that your subconscious mind is on board with what you want to achieve. If it's not on board, if it doesn't feel safe for you to achieve what you consciously want to achieve, it will end in self-sabotage all of the time. And self-sabotage can be really, really sneaky, but that is what happens. Self-sabotage is the result of your subconscious not feeling safe for you to achieve what you want to achieve. So it might look like you might hit your target income or your next level income once, and then not being able to do it consistently. That's a sign that your subconscious doesn't feel safe. Another sign, if you're constantly saying yes to things that don't align to your purpose, or you're constantly bending your boundaries, or you're constantly overworking, not putting yourself first, or you're constantly making decisions that aren't in alignment with your values, i.e. working when you actually want to be spending quality time with your family, or not being able to be present with your family, all of these things are driven by limiting beliefs in the subconscious, which is a sign that your subconscious isn't on board with what you want to achieve. If you do the work to get that subconscious on board, it gets to be so easy because you're creating your reality that you want to be. The reality slots into place. And step 5, once you've got the support for those changes, step 5 is about mindfully and consciously making the choices in alignment with your highest self. So if that looks like speaking your truth, it's about observing and making the choices to be able to do that. Okay, you've noticed the resistance, you've cleared the limiting beliefs, or you've had the mindset shifts to allow you to be able to then make the choices. And it's about observing and making choices according to your highest self. And one extra thing that I'd love to just add with this higher self framework, it's not just a framework for your business. Okay, you cannot compartmentalize energy. And I work with my clients for them as people. I don't work with them for their business. Obviously, they come to me with their specific goals that they want to achieve in their business, and that's great. We're focused, we work towards that, but I see them as a whole. Okay, and if something is creating resistance in outside of their business and their personal life, I will happily coach them on that. It's really important that I coach them on that, because there is absolutely no point in trying to solve and get everything in alignment in the business if something is kicking off in your personal life, or if something feels heavy and hard and out of alignment with your personal relationships. That's 100% going to be having an impact inside your business too, because you just cannot compartmentalize that energy. And so with step 5, when you're observing and making those choices according to your highest self, allow that to overflow into every single area of your life. Okay, not just your business. And you will see success faster with this if you focus on the small decisions first, like those inconsequential decisions that don't really matter. If you can really focus on higher self decisions across the board, all the small ones, all of them. All right. Like, for example, taking the stairs instead of the lift. Does your higher self want to be energetic and proactive and fit and strong and healthy? Yes, she does. Right. Okay. Take the stairs then. All right. We just we're living life on autopilot all the time, and we just sort of walk to the lift because we think we're tired, and we're just running the story in our mind. I'm just ad-libbing here, but it's just an example of where you might automatically walk towards the lift, but your higher self is like, no, you want to be strong, fit, and healthy, so go and take the stairs. Okay, it's just an example of how you can allow it to overflow into every area of your life, and that will help you make faster progress, because your brain, like I said earlier, your brain is watching everything you do. Okay, and taking note. So hope that helps. The other thing that I wanted to share with you, I am honoring my own needs in the sense that I am taking time to slow down, to speed up. And I'm actually really proud to say that There has not been a gap in the podcast. There has been a weekly episode, if not more. Sometimes there's been more unedited episodes, but there has basically been a weekly podcast episode for a year now. The last time I took a break was this time last year when I was on holiday. And these past 6 weeks have been pretty busy in our lives as a family because we've had less childcare, less nursery. And so I've been running my business whilst having the girls around more. My girls are 4, by the way, they're about to start school. And so ordinarily I would have had an episode ready to go out next Monday. And I thought about recording an extra one at the last minute now, but I thought, no, I'm going to have a break. I'm going to slow down to speed up. I'm going to allow the time for whatever needs to come through. And if you're missing me next week, then go and listen to this episode again, because I know that the brain always hears things differently each time we hear it. So I'd love for you to come back and listen to this again next week, or an episode that you've not listened to, or whatever. Go and take the time for you, because next week there will not be an episode, and I will be back the week after, and I'm sure I have loads of things to share with you then. So yeah, thank you so much for your support and being here. If this has inspired you and you would love to share this to your stories or send it to your business bestie, I would love your support. It really, really means the world. And if this episode has resonated with you deeply, and you feel that you're overthinking and holding yourself back in your business because you feel that the limiting beliefs are causing you to do that, whether that looks like bending your boundaries to please clients or being stuck in hustle mode, working longer hours than you'd like to, or putting your self-care at the bottom of the pile, finding that you're a little bit stressy in relationships and just feeling like you're a little bit drained and not enjoying your business as much as you would like to, or you're finding that you're not reaching your next level, or you are, but you're not able to stay there consistently, then obviously the higher system will help you. Higher self system will help you. But within Powerhouse Portal, we go so much deeper with that. So if you don't know, Powerhouse Portal is my signature mindset in inner work group program. It's a 6-month program, and it's a hybrid of group mindset calls and one-to-one support. But yeah, essentially it is a group inner work program that helps you to shift your subconscious programming to align with your conscious goals. And I provide deep personal mindset support to help my clients up level and implement the higher self system so that they can feel calm, collected, neutral, grounded, and feel like they're thriving whilst reaching the next level in business. It's like the journey, if I could sum it up, the journey is feeling supported whilst you are constantly up leveling your mindset and doing the healing and the inner work to remove the limiting beliefs, and be achieving in your business and feeling really good doing it. Like if you want to feel the best you've ever felt in your business, come work with me. So yeah, if you feel that you would like to experience this so that your Q4 is the best this year, then apply for Powerhouse Portal in the show notes below. And with that, I will leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all very, very soon. Ciao. Thank you for listening to the Bigger Than You podcast with your host, Jenna Holloway. If this episode has been valuable to you, please share it with a friend or leave a review.